6ix9ine betrayed one of the most dangerous groups in the United States, and they are now after him. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.
Danny's he's a young man first and foremost. Let's stop saying kid, because he was never a kid.
So what is 6ix9ine up to right now?
Decades in prison, but will likely receive a reduced sentence for his cooperation. His sentencing was moved up and is now set for December 2019.
That is a question that many people want to know the answer to, and seem to be a little confused about given recent events. So if you want to know where 6ix9ine is right now, it's very simple. He's still in jail. Yeah, he's still locked up, and he'll be that way for at least the next 6 weeks or so. After all, while he has been appearing in court and doing a lot of things for the FBI, he's still been under lock and key this whole time. That has not changed. Remember, he wasn't an expert witness brought in to help put away the 9 Trey Bloods and other people, but rather he was one of the people arrested in November of 2018, and then he flipped on his friends in order to get a lesser sentence, which may indeed land him back in the streets within 2 months' time or so.
6ix9ine was famously arrested in November 2018 and turned state's witness a day later.
So, you know, it's that kind of thing, which is both good for 6ix9ine and bad for 6ix9ine. Because on one hand, his sentencing hearing was originally scheduled for January 2020, but then after his recent stint in court on September 2019, he was able to get it moved up to December 18, 2019. This means that 13 months to the day after he was arrested, he'll potentially be sentenced or released. It just depends on what the judge in charge of the case says. So why is it bad that 6ix9ine is still in jail right now? Well, because that means he's still behind bars and not free yet, which means the things that he can do to protect himself are somewhat limited. Granted, he has a bunch of security guards and such, but the 9 Trey Bloods want him bad, and they want to make him pay for what he's done, and some of them are in the jail that he's in, or at the very least they have allies within the prison walls. So the question becomes, will 6ix9ine get free first, or will they get to him first? Only time will tell. The safety of the prison system.
Transferred. Now this does actually connect to TMZ, since they did put out an article today that 6ix9ine was transferred.
I'm sure the sounding of this topic is weird to some of you, because when you think about a prison, you think about how it's either a really safe place in regards to keeping criminals from breaking out, but you also think about how there are things like riots, secret contraband rings, corrupt guards, and more in prison. Sure, some of that is played way up in movies and TV shows, but it happens more than you think if you can believe it. But where does that put 6ix9ine? Is he in more danger or less danger with where he is right now? Well, to be honest, that's a bit of a tricky question, but not for the reasons you're thinking. You see, while 6ix9ine may be an idiot in regards to how he handles his life and all the messes he gets himself in with a smile on his face, when it comes to his personal safety, he knows how to get stuff done. Meaning that if there's a way to get out of trouble or limit the abuse he takes, he'll not just do it, he'll work to get it done. That's why every time before now, he's went to court for various charges, he's walked out with plea deals and virtually no jail time. Unlike now, where he'll be in jail for over a year before sentencing. When he first got arrested, one of the things he did after arriving in jail was getting with his lawyer so that he could petition to get out of his current holding area and into another ward of the prison. Specifically, he has to be put in the non-violent offenders ward, which when you think about it is quite brilliant, because where he was before general population, he was surrounded by enemies. But with the non-violent offenders ward, he is pretty much safe because the people in those wings didn't do the kind of hard crimes that the others in the prison did. Now this might have you a bit curious. Wasn't 6ix9ine a violent offender? Well, yes and no. Yes, he did get into some fights with various people, and as the charges against him noted, he did go and order some attacks on some rivals. In one case, he even went and became hostile towards a fan who was just recording him with a phone. So he has been violent, but for all his faults, of which there are many, 6ix9ine has never personally beaten down someone or taken a life. So because of that, and the fact that he's never been convicted of a violent crime, he was able to get into that ward of the prison. So for all intents and purposes, he's safe from his enemies, right? Well, one might think at least. What might the 9 Treys do now?
It's just weeks after 6ix9ine testified against his former associates, Anthony Harv Ellison and Aljamiah Nuke Mack of the 9 Trey Bloods.
That is another question that many people are asking right now, and the answer may just depend on who is left in the group right now. You see, when 6ix9ine agreed to his plea deal, he promised to not just rat out all the people who were arrested alongside him, more or less, but to rat out on the entire organization known as the 9 Trey Bloods. He put a great deal of them behind bars because of his testimonies, including some that hadn't been arrested on that night at hand. Some even believe that one of the people arrested was actually the leader of the 9 Trey Bloods, but that hasn't been proven or confirmed in any significant capacity. So when you consider the damage that 6ix9ine did to the group, and the fact that the FBI is seriously determined to try and get them locked up for life and off the streets for good, what can the 9 Trey Bloods do in order to get revenge on 6ix9ine before it's too late? Well, it depends on who is left. and what they feel is their best option. The obvious answer is to try and have them get to 6ix9ine behind bars, which is what many people have expected the 9 Trey Bloods to do ever since 6ix9ine became an official snitch, which was all over the media, so they knew as early as February, if not earlier. But since it's now nearly the end of the year, meaning many months have passed, and nothing has happened to 6ix9ine in the physical sense, you have to wonder if they're going to make an attempt there at all. That may be the smart thing to do, ironically enough, because when you think about it, not only is the prison protecting 6ix9ine because of his legal rights, the FBI is also aiming to ensure that nothing happens to 6ix9ine because he is their golden goose in regards to the 9 Trey Bloods. He's the one that is going to put them all away in one form or another, and without his testimony, which can be called upon, even if he does get out of prison soon, the case falls apart. So there's no doubt in anyone's mind that the FBI is going to the extreme lengths to make sure that no one, especially not someone loyal to the 9 Trey Bloods, gets anywhere near 6ix9ine, so that option may be cut off to them right now. But it's not the only option available if you know how the game is played. Opportunity for revenge awaits. Okay, so if they're not going after 6ix9ine when he's in prison, then what other options do they have? That's simple. With 6ix9ine's impending sentencing trial approaching, the 9 Trey Bloods may soon get another chance to get their former friend. But here's the thing, it's not the sentencing itself that they need to be at, but rather the aftermath of the whole event. In this particular case, meaning the aftermath of him being potentially released for time served. What do you mean by that? Well, as part of his plea deal agreement, 6ix9ine was given the possibility for a very light sentence despite all his various crimes he has been accused of. And because of that fact, he has been in jail for 13 months by the time of his sentencing. And the fact that he was absolutely cooperative with the FBI and prosecutors, say what you will about him, he was a good snitch. He could get a time served sentence, which means he could be released a few days after he gets the official approval from the judge. What does that have to do with anything? Well, 6ix9ine is many things, but a smart guy isn't always one of those things, because rumors are quickly becoming more concrete in the area of what 6ix9ine will do after he gets released from prison. And the biggest thing going around is that he's going to deny the witness protection that he has been offered in order to just go back to New York and start up his rap career once again. Yeah, not the smartest idea, especially when you consider that the 9 Trey Bloods also reside in New York and will want to get revenge on 6ix9ine for what he did. 6ix9ine's answer to this is that he's just going to hire around-the-clock security for both him and his loved one, which at this point is just his girlfriend Jade, who has been oddly loyal to him so that he can't be hurt, though there's obviously history of people getting past security, if you will. So as you can see, there is a genuine opportunity coming for the 9 Trey Bloods. 6ix9ine is going to be out in the openness of New York without the FBI and guards and police coming to protect him at a moment's notice. Thus, if they want to get a good beat on 6ix9ine, all they have to do is wait. But then again, perhaps the biggest thing they could do is just wait to see if 6ix9ine gets out of prison at all, which isn't exactly a guarantee. Do you want to win any of these items on the screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right back into the video. He may not get out of prison.
Prosecutors, and I spoke to 2 longtime criminal defense attorneys. They all concur. No way the government could promise Daniel Hernandez a sentence.
Wordplay is very important in our world today, and that most definitely applies when it comes to things like contracts and plea deals. When 6ix9ine signed his plea deal, he agreed to snitch on the entire 9 Trey Bloods organization and the people that were arrested alongside him, which he did to the best of his ability, that we can tell anyway. In exchange for this, the plea deal promised that he would not get the 2 life sentence charges that were levied against him, and he was told he would not get a heavy sentence, which at a minimum could have been 47 years given the charges that were formally put on him. One thing it did not say was that he was guaranteed to get out of prison just because he snitched on everyone he had information on. That's just an assumption made by lawyers, critics, fans, and of course 6ix9ine himself. It does not say that in the plea deal, so it's very possible that 6ix9ine won't be released in late December or early January 2020, and the reasoning for this is very simple. He did a lot of crimes for the 9 Trey Bloods and was caught red-handed for it. Just to name a few, 6ix9ine was charged with conspiracy, illegal possession of firearms and substances, racketeering, illegal enterprise, and a variety of other charges. As part of his plea deal, he actually had to plead guilty to certain charges so that he wouldn't walk away scot-free, which also means that if he does get out early, his record will show that he's a convicted felon. Because of these charges and the severity behind them, that means that a judge could quite easily keep him behind bars for a good amount of time because he did break the law, was arrested lawfully, and has not served what the judge feels is an adequate amount of time for it. That is honestly and well and truly up to the judge's discretion, which means that while 6ix9ine is bragging about getting out soon, he's possibly jumping the gun in the worst way possible. Now sure, it's unlikely that he'll get anything like 10 to 15 years in prison, which technically is on the table, but that doesn't mean the judge won't give him, say, 2 to 5 years in prison for his role in the various actions he partook in. And by his own admission, he took part in them. There was even video showing some of his crimes and wiretaps of conversations of them as well. So when you put all this together, maybe the 9 Trey Bloods don't have to do anything at all, because all they have to do is let 6ix9ine rot and not have to worry about him for a few years. Or the time in prison could allow them him more time to figure out how to get to him. Either way, nothing is guaranteed when it comes to 6ix9ine right now, and that's the truth. Why witness protection could have saved 6ix9ine's life.
That's right, people. 6ix9ine is snitching on his gang, and he's going into witness protection.
So let's assume that the 9 Trey Bloods are never going to stop coming after 6ix9ine if he does get out of jail. That they'll hound him, hunt him, and all that stuff until they take him down. Knowing all of that, and you have to believe that 6ix9ine understands this in a certain way, why would he just turn down witness protection so easily? Wouldn't it have been the best option to protect his life and, keep living? Well, to answer that, I ask you to reflect on something I said about 6ix9ine earlier. He's not the smartest guy. True, I also said that he was the best when it came to protecting his life. However, he's also a guy who believes that he is the greatest rapper in the world today. So much so that he blasted a lot of rappers who dissed him for snitching, because in his mind they are jealous. Not always the smartest of guys. But going back to the witness protection thing, while it's true that they likely would have saved 6ix9ine's life, it also would have put an end to his music career, as he would have had to be renamed, have his appearance heavily altered, especially all the tattoos on his body, and he couldn't sing or rap anymore because of the fact that it would have brought attention to himself. Instead though, 6ix9ine felt that he is so good in music that he can just hop right back into his life without any consequences, despite the fact that the consequences are still a clear and present danger in the form of the 9 Trey Bloods. But he feels that he can't be touched, and that this is a good enough reason for him to do what he feels is best for him, which is to sing and rap. 6ix9ine versus the 9 Trey Bloods.
Nuke and Harv were both found guilty of racketeering, with Harv catching a separate charge for kidnapping 6ix9ine in July 2018.
Okay, so given all of that, where exactly does that leave both 6ix9ine and the 9 Trey Bloods? Well, at present things are a bit of a stalemate. Here's why. On one hand, the 9 Trey Bloods are going to have a really hard time getting to him because of the fact that he's in prison, in a section far away from any of their allies, and the FBI is keeping extra special care of 6ix9ine as he continues to be their snitch. As for 6ix9ine, he can't do anything for himself until he gets out of prison, which at best is about 2 months away, if not more. So until that judge declares him free to go, he has to sit and wait in prison for his moment to get out and live life once again. There are a lot of factors here that we didn't cover in this list, including how the rap community isn't exactly pleased with what 6ix9ine did in order to get out of prison, potentially. And while the 9 Trey Bloods may not be able to touch 6ix9ine in the way they want, the rap community may have other ways to get to him that are just as bad. And there is the fact that even if 6ix9ine gets out, he's going to be spending a lot of money to keep himself safe, and it's no guarantee that his protection detail will even work 24/7. It's very much a crapshoot. Everything is very much insured currently, and I'm sure 6ix9ine knows that, but he doesn't want to show fear. The next chapter of the story has yet to be written, but when it is written, it may not go the way any of us think, because it's that much in flux. The storm coming for 6ix9ine. Now let's say 6ix9ine got out of prison, and his security team managed to actually protect him against everyone after him. 6ix9ine goes back to rapping and life is good, right? Well, no. Tekashi 6ix9ine still has some very serious cases to face. He might have gotten one case out of the way, but he still has another round to go. As some of you already know, Tekashi has done some pretty bad and serious things to his ex-girlfriend Sarah Molina, who she has a daughter with, but a daughter that was forced into Sarah's life by 6ix9ine. You see what I'm getting at? On top of that, which is pretty bad in itself, Tekashi 6ix9ine also has to answer to a judge on charges of mistreating Sarah Molina. Now these things are just accusations at the moment, but very serious accusations that need and most likely will be looked into if Sarah decides to press charges against Tekashi. So back to my point, Tekashi may have snitched his way out of a life sentence, which sounds like a good thing if you're Tekashi, right? But his freedom is not guaranteed if he does end up getting released, because he might just end up going back to prison soon, with all these accusations coming to light. And there you have it, a look at the reasons and the ways the 9 Trey Bloods will try and come after 6ix9ine. What do you think will be the ultimate fate of this conflict? Will 6ix9ine be able to make it out and enjoy his life as a rapper again, or will he find himself in a situation he can't talk or snitch his way out of? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe. I'm Keek Trending, and I'll catch you next time.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.